Hello, everyone. It's another Wisdom Wednesday, and I trust that you are doing well today. Remember that mindset is everything as we continue to thrive and to strive to be and to become a better version of ourselves. I was thinking, and today's topic is one that I realize that a lot of persons struggle with. A lot of persons are struggling with it, but in order I realize that in order for us as individuals to be and to become a better version of ourselves, we have to, this is one topic or one issue that one has to get over before they can become a better version of themselves. And what we're going to be talking about today is superiority and inferiority complex. As I said to you before, doing my assessment based on observation, I would have realized that a lot of times persons are really suffering with inferiority and a feeling of inferiority and superiority complex. And what happened is that persons are not honest enough to acknowledge that they are in fact having a feeling of inferiority or superiority. So let's get right into it. First, I want to define what it is. I'm not going to give you too much information because I want you to be at Wisdom Wednesday Live this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is, if you're in Jamaica, it's 7 p.m. If you are in the US or Canada, it is 8 p.m. So I'm not going to give you too much information because we have an associate psychologist who will look on this topic from a psychological perspective. But I want to give you some idea, give you some information on it to perk you up for later, and also to what would I say? To nudge persons who might have been having these feelings. And as I said to you before, a lot of times as individuals, we are too afraid to acknowledge what we are struggling with. And as we are thriving to be and to become a better version of ourselves, I believe that we have to deal with all of the issues that we're having in order for us to become and to be a better version of ourselves. So as I said before, let's get right into it. Superiority complex is an attitude of superiority which conceals actual feelings of inferiority and failure. Inferiority complex is a feeling like they are less than other people or not good as other people. So what happened with inferiority and superiority complex? It's a feeling of not measuring up. So people feel as though they are not, in life, people might look at people in class and status and statue, and some persons have feeling that, they are not good enough. They don't measure up. They measure themselves to against other people, and they realize that, I'm not like them, and I can't be, and I can't, all of those things. But what happened is that the person who displays a superiority complex, a feeling of superiority complex, what is in fact happening is that it is hiding under inferiority complex. So a person who has superiority complex, a feeling of superiority complex, they might seem like they have it all together. When they get in the public eye, they want persons to see, or when they're with people, they behave as though they're the boss and they're the leader, they're the boss and they're the leader, and they are confident and they know what they're about, and they will embarrass people, and they will do some things and make people feel small and remind them of their accomplishment. I have this, I have that, I have accomplished that, and they constantly brag and talk about what they have and where they are in terms of social status. They will want to cling to people who they think are of that level, of that class with them. But in truth and in fact, what is happening is that it's just a cover-up of inferiority, of the feeling of inferiority. Behind closed door, these persons are vulnerable, they are weak, they are fragile, they might be hurting, Because a lot of times, and as I said, the psychologists may get into all of those, how it come about, how persons, we know that socialization steer us and help to make us who we are. So a lot of times, even in counseling, we have to get back to the basis. So 2 ways that I have observed and realized that 2 ways how inferiority, a feeling of inferiority, manifests. 1, remember we say it's a feeling of not measuring up. 1, an individual who displays such normally has low self-esteem. But as we know, we have inflated self-esteem, and a lot of times it's just a cover-up. People behave, oh, I'm confident and stuff, when in truth and in fact, they are not. And that is why I implore persons to be true to yourself. Covering up and hiding and fake and pretend, it doesn't help us. So 2 ways how it manifests. An individual will have the feeling of inferiority, and what happens is that they look at an individual and they say, oh, she's not going to talk to me, she's not going to be my friend because she's in a different class from me. When in truth and in fact, that's just a feeling for that individual. And a lot of times what happens is that people do not connect with people, with the persons who maybe are their destiny helpers, because they're having a feeling of inferiority. So this particular person may be able to help you if you put away your feeling of inferiority and connect with the individual, or make yourself teachable. And that's another thing. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but as I said, that is one way that it manifests. Persons might shy away from persons who they think they don't measure up to. Another way it manifests is that persons might look at the individuals and say, it's not all that. They're just showing off, and they're just making it look like their life is all together when it's not. And they'll say negative things about people, and they'll say, oh, she's just fake and she's just pretending, and she's just why they're showing off so much and all of that. And looking at it, it's a feeling of inferiority, because we have to understand that as individuals, that everybody has their own giftings, talents, abilities. Everybody like different things. So even if somebody else is showing off, that's their business. That's what they choose to do, and they have the choice to choose that. So what it does is that it allows individuals not to be teachable, because what is happening is that, as I said, the 2 ways it manifests, especially the last one, where you say, oh, I don't match up, I don't match to that person. You might be looking at the individual and say, oh, she's not going to be my friend, she's not going to talk to me. When in truth and in fact, if you get rid of that feeling and approach the person will be willing to help you, and the individual might not see themselves as better than anyone, but it's just you looking at people saying that, oh, they're behaving as though they're better than people, or all of those things. It's just a feeling. And also persons looking at people and say, oh, it's not all that and all of that. And we know that inferiority can tie with jealousy and insecurities, feeling intimidated, all of those things. So it's all a feeling. So they may act, people with these feeling may act in ways that make them look superior. So the ones who display the feeling of superiority complex, they may act in ways that make them look superior. So that is how they want people to see them. When in truth and in fact, it's not like that. But an inferiority complex may be the underlying cause, or the person has his or her own weaknesses and is showing off with that. We might say, how do we know how it is diagnosed? It is said that it's not a diagnosable mental health disorder. Instead, clinicians use low self-esteem as one possible symptoms when they assess for the psychological problem. 2 things they normally look for, and 2 things that happens or manifest with people who have a feeling of inferiority is that anxiety is one. And it says that anxiety disorder, if one feels they are not good enough, it can provoke anxiety and it may be a situation. it may cause that anxiety disorder, because persons are always uncomfortable in going in other people's space. Oh, I don't match here, I don't fit here, and always be anxious and worried and all of those things. A depression or a depressive disorder is another way it manifests. Studies show that low self-esteem. So study shows that low self-esteem is a key factor of developmental and maintenance of depression. So it's a feeling. It's a feeling, and as we mentioned before, that persons who have the feeling, who struggles with the feeling of inferiority or superiority complex, their self-esteem, that is where it starts from. So, as I've mentioned before, in order for us to be and to become a better version of ourselves, we have to be honest with ourselves. We must be honest with ourselves. We must be honest with ourselves. We must seek help. We must seek persons who and places and things that can help us to get over these struggles. Thank you for watching. Remember to share. Thank you for your support. And see you later for Wisdom Wednesday Live. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.